Padskinz is the single best product you can get as a beer league goalie. Let me tell you why.
3, 2, 1, okay. Yeah, I'm the chick, yeah, I'm the chick, yeah, I'm the chick, oh wait, yeah, I'm the chick, yeah, I'm the chick, yeah, I'm the chick, oh wait,
All right, so you clicked on this video because you want to change the color of your pads and you don't want to pay $2,000 for a custom set of goalie pads, which is completely understandable because, like myself, I am on a budget and I'm not paying $2,000 for custom pads. So what do? Well, you get something called good old Padskinz. This is the large Padskinz. It's the sport gold color. And today I'm going to show you how to apply Padskinz and explain why it is the single best product you can use as a goalie if you want to change the look of your goal pads. And stick around to the end of the video because Padskinz has agreed to send one of you, the subscribers, a Padskin of yourself to apply to your goalie pads. So if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe right now. And let's get rolling. All right, so let's get into this. The things you're going to need for this wrap today is, of course, your pad of choice. I went with the CCM eFlex 4.9s. These are my old pads. And the reason why I chose these is, A, I can't show you my new pads yet, and B, the intricacies on this pad, if you can see, like, they're quite difficult. There's some knee rolls in here, so these ones are kind of hard to get done. And I wanted to showcase how actually easy it is despite having some knee rolls or stuff like that. On a flat face pad like the Bowers that I do have, which I'll share in a later video, it was quite easy. So let's jump in it. Things you're going to need, of course, are your pad of choice. You're also going to need some scissors, a pencil, and this is really the sleeper of all of this. Okay, this is the one thing that I didn't think I needed until I saw a YouTube video explaining that I did need it, and I haven't looked back. Painter's tape, game changer. All right, and the last thing you're going to need is one of these, a little X-Acto knife. I just picked it up from the dollar store. That's all your utensils you're going to need. Of course, your Padskinz as well. I'm going to go to the Sport Gold today because we are trying to match this beautiful jersey that we got custom last season from Rockstar Sportwear and Apparel. If you haven't used them before, I highly, highly, highly recommend them. Matt is a great guy, and he makes crazy, crazy cool uniforms. This is just one of them. Here, I'll kind of show you. This is going to be my ODR jersey and pads for the season, so I want to get them all matching up. Let's figure out, and this is a big thing that I've done previously, is I've gone on like Canva or Pixlr, if you don't know what those are, and just taken a picture of my pads and drew on the design on that software to kind of give me a good idea of what I want. And it's important that you plan out what design you want to do. Like for me, you know, there's so much you could do on this pad. I love the graphic of these, but for today's video, I'm just going to do the inside pieces on these two lower parts. Just so you guys can get a taste of what Padskinz is and how easy it is. But I highly recommend doing that ahead of time so you can get a good idea. And then when it comes to doing the design process, you just know right away and you just dive in. So let's get started. Right, so as I explained, the first thing you want to do is you want to take your painter's tape and figure out which area you're going to do. We're going to start down here on this little section here. And all you're going to do is take your painter's tape and basically cover the entire area that you want to do. Like I said, so I'm going to do this bottom section here. So you go like this, and make sure they're overlapping, I don't know, halfway, because you're going to take them off all together. And when you take them off, you don't want them to come apart. Like this, and then one more should do it, just along the edge here, like this. Trust the process, okay? So this is what it looks like. Once you figure out which area you want to do, and you put the painter's tape on just like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your handy dandy pencil and you're going to trace the outline on the painter's tape of where you want to put the Padskinz. So I'm going to do that quick, and then we'll get to cutting. All right, it may be tough to see, but I've penciled in my outline on this tape. And now all we're going to do is take the tape off carefully, keeping it all together, and then we're going to stick it on our Padskinz wrap. So let's get to that. Boom. So it comes off just like that, and you can see the stenciled design. So now, what we're going to do is take our Padskinz, find the piece we want, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this tape and put it directly on the Padskinz like this, just like that. And all you're going to do is cut on the Padskinz your outline shape. Okay, so here's our shape, and keep in mind, always have a little bit extra around the edges, because you can always trim that with the X-Acto knife after. So what we're going to do is remove the painter's tape from this, and then stick this onto the pad itself. And keep in mind, I'm doing this quickly because I want to review it and get it on the pads as quick as possible. But when you're doing it, you can really take your time. You can see here, I kind of left a bit of a gap here and a bit of a gap here. But when you're doing it yourself, the two P's I say are key to Padskinz: patience and painter's tape. So we'll do the design for these two here, get those on, and I'll show you what it looks like kind of just as we're about halfway done. So we got this bottom part finished, but I want to show you exactly why you should have your X-Acto knife handy. So you can see here, it looks pretty good, honestly, but if you are a perfectionist, myself, again, I'm just showing you on these pads, so I don't care too much. You can take the X-Acto knife and just go on the edge of this piece here to really get it to sit inside. CCM's nice with this, where, you know, inside there's like a little divot, I guess, so it's easier to cut with the X-Acto knife. Other pads like my Bowers, for example, it's a lot harder because you can't see any divots, so you just got to freehand it. But that's why you got to keep this guy handy for stuff like that. So let's get on to the bigger piece, just these guys here, finish those up, and then we'll compare it to the other pad. Alright, so I'm going to jump back in here. Perfect example again of why you can use the X-Acto knife. You can see I went a little bit over here, so I'm just going to take the X-Acto knife and just trim this corner here and trim this part up just to make it look a little bit better. Of course, safety tip, if you're doing this by yourself and you're over the age of like 16 and stuff, all for you, be careful no matter what. If you're under 16, maybe get your parent to help you out, because you don't want to cut yourself with this. I did yesterday, not even gonna lie, I won't show it on screen, because I was just being dumb, and that's what happens. So we'll get this last little section done here, and then we'll compare the pads. Alright, so as you can see, there's the difference between the two pads when you put some Padskinz on. You might go back and take off that bottom layer and just put it with the black outlines kind of inside here with this pad. But that's only about 30 minutes of work there. So if you really spend, again, the two P's, patience and painter's tape, you could make these pads look wicked good. I did do it on my Bauer pads, but I can't show you those yet. I'll have those in a different video. But like I said, we've reached the end of the video. It's really that easy to put on Padskinz, and for me, it is the single best thing you could buy as a goalie or as a goalie parent out as well. Instead of spending, you know, $2,000 on some brand new pads for your kid, for their team, or for yourself, if you want to do that, by all means, go ahead. But instead, you spend maybe, I don't know, I think I spent $160 on Padskinz, large Padskinz, and I was able to do my entire set, pads, blocker, and glove. So with that said, huge thank you to Padskinz for today's video, because they are going to give a set of Padskinz away to you. So all you gotta do is subscribe. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. Let me know what color Padskin you want and what you're going to use it for, and I'll pick one of you lucky subscribers next week's video for the Padskin giveaway. It's that easy, that simple, and it's a great, absolutely amazing product. That's it. That's this week's video. We'll see you next week. Later, Gators.